Welcome back to All Chat, episode 16, the only League of Legends esports podcast by the fans for the fans that covers all four major regions every week. My name is Jack Dawes. I'm joined by Grayson Yada. And before we get into talking about some League of Legends, thank you to everyone who just ran up the numbers on last week's podcast. That was honestly insane. It was the coolest experience to see. Yeah, big hearts all around. It was the coolest experience to see everyone just coming out in the numbers and all the positive feedback. Everyone who was willing to go back and forth with us in the comments. Everyone who was just liking it, sharing it. It was really cool. It is by far the biggest video that we've put out so far. It gave both of us a ton of inspiration to keep doing this. So we really appreciate it. We hope that you continue to come back each week. We'd love to have you. This is a podcast that goes every week. We're going to have to miss the next 2 weeks just because we have some personal stuff going on. But other than that, it's a weekly podcast. We're talking about all four major regions every week. Thank you to everyone who showed up. Thank you to the people who have been there since the beginning and continue to show up and support us. We know that there are people who come back every week. That's absolutely insane. But yeah, thank you for all the support on last video. If you haven't seen it, you can go back. It's just the most recent upload that we have other than this one. Everything is time-stamped down below. We did an MSI tier list for all the teams. We talked about the Shy. We talked about some other stuff. So if you're interested, go check that one out. And then for this week's episode, we're going to have everything time-stamped as well. We're going to do some tier lists, talk about some good stuff that's happening for MSI. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you to everyone who's showed up in the last week and this week, and check out our other social media. We'll put a graphic up on screen, but for the audio listeners, it's at All Chat LOL on basically all platforms. Instagram, Snapchat, not Snapchat. Don't go to Snapchat. Just Instagram. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, all your favorite podcasting platforms. And then our Twitter or our X is allchat_LOL, but all the rest are just allchat LOL. I'll stop gabbing and we can talk about some League of Legends.
Oh yeah, sounds good, Jack. Let's get into it.
Doing this all natural,
Yeah,
So,
yes sir. We are all natural right now.
all natural.
No makeup blocking the the little scars from the weekend. Look at this bruise that I got.
Yeah, how did that happen? Wait, wait, show it again. You look lagged for a second. Ooh,
yeah.
how did
nice
that happen?
One. I got cross-checked really hard, and then guy punched me in the face type deal.
Yeah, I saw the one
like
under your
that.
eye. I thought that was what you were talking about at first. That looks brutal.
No, it wasn't bad. It didn't hurt at all, but I honestly think it looks kind of cool. Like I might just
You got battle scars now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
But yeah.
How was you had a tournament? Yeah.
Yeah. We lost in the final, so sucks.
Hey.
But still a good fun tournament. So
yeah, it sucks, but at least you made it, right? I mean, that's kind of hype.
Exactly. It was good to get out. I haven't been skating as much, so it's nice to finally play a tournament again.
Yeah,
but I did get it a little under the weather over the weekend. It was pretty cold out there. So,
because you play outdoor, right?
Yeah. So it's roller hockey, but the rink is pretty much outdoors, and I was dumb and didn't bring a jacket for our late night games. So when you're all sweaty, and then just
are there rinks specifically made for roller hockey, or do you repurpose a different kind of sports field of some kind?
Out here in Southern California, at least, there's a couple roller hockey specific rinks.
Oh, cool.
So,
okay.
Yeah. The one that we played at was in Irvine, so it's right off Barranca. Actually, I don't even know if you remember Barranca. No. But it's roller specific, so
okay,
to go along with all the ice rinks that they have out here too. So it's nice. It's Southern California is definitely a hotbed for roller hockey just because of that accessibility.
That makes sense. Yeah. So are there other places where they do put you on not a roller hockey specific Like,
Yeah.
is it called a rink still?
Yeah, it's still a rink. So like
Okay.
our summer tournaments we'll go play in like St. Louis, and they just put roller tile on ice hockey rinks.
Oh,
And
crazy.
they'll just rent it out for like 3 weeks or whatever, throw the tile down, and we'll be playing on their ice hockey rink pretty much.
Is it like on top of the ice, or do they melt the ice out?
Sometimes they melt it, but most of the times they just like put it on top of the ice, and there's like some type of like layer, like rubber layer that they put in between. Because
Okay.
like if they had to melt all the ice and then reflood it, it would be a disaster, I'm sure, for the
Yeah.
rink hosting. So
They have to do that at some places though, right? Because isn't there some like arenas that use, like, I think the one in Seattle, we have oh, I can't even remember what it's called now. That's cringe. We have like
climate
a
pledge.
climate pledge. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that I think can be used as like a concert venue and stuff too. Or at least it used
Uh-huh.
to. When it was Key Arena, they used to
Yeah.
like use it as a concert venue. I don't know. So they must be
Yeah.
able to melt out the ice and stuff, right?
I think usually what they just do is they put the like a rubber mat underneath it that covers all the ice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they
It's
don't
like
usually melt it out. They just cover it.
yeah. Yeah. So like Staples Center or like crypto.com, I guess now. Like
Yeah.
when the Kings and the Lakers and the Clippers all play, there's been times where the Kings and the Lakers play in the same day, and
Yeah.
like the transition between hockey to basketball is super seamless. They're able to do it
Wow.
in like probably 3 or 4 hours, like a little matinee hockey game into a nighttime basketball game or vice versa. But yeah, they just like cover it up and then put everything on top.
That's actually crazy. So sometimes when you see basketball games, they're being played on top of ice hockey rinks.
Yeah, exactly. Like especially right now, like the Kings are in the playoffs and the Lakers are in the playoffs. So they've had to do that, multiple times. Same with like Madison Square Garden with the New York Rangers and then the Knicks. Like they have to go back and forth, flip flop. So
I don't know why that blows my mind, but that's crazy to me. I
you
don't
should
know
see like
why.
a time lapse video of them doing the transition. It's crazy. Like not only like all the logos and everything they have to switch out, but down to the surface, down to like taking the boards out, putting in basketball hoops, right? It's like a whole process,
Yeah.
but they're able to do it in like 3 4 hours, which is pretty sick.
I'll legit look that up because that's actually
Yeah.
crazy to me. That's actually
Yeah,
insane.
I'll throw a video right here, or like, I'll put one in here over us talking about it too, just so
Perfect.
everyone can kind of see. Because I'm sure there's not a lot of people that know that.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
we got MSI starting this week, dude. I'm
It's
stoked.
so soon.
I know. Tuesday night for us. I think like 1 in the morning is the first match. FlyQuest versus PSG.
That's actually
That's
crazy. Wait, that's like,
yeah.
it's not technically tomorrow night. It's like in the morning of Wednesday or whatever, but that's like basically tomorrow. I mean, yeah, I guess it is
It's
tomorrow night.
yeah, it's like 1 in the morning for
Yeah.
us. So
Wait,
yeah,
that's
it
nuts.
it's coming up quick, dude. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah,
I think FlyQuest is going to turn some heads. Well, I've heard a lot about PSG too, though. So
I know. So,
I don't know what
should
to
we
make of them.
try? Yeah, should we try and do like a quick prediction of where we think like the first what 4 games are going to end up? Do you want to try and
Yeah,
run through that real quick?
dude, I'm down. I'm down. I think okay. Well, starting with PSG and FlyQuest,
Yeah.
I think FlyQuest just takes it, but it might be like a 2-1.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
real quick, actually before we get into that, we should probably talk about the format, right?
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Do you want can you
So
give you were kind of explaining it to me because I think you know it better than I do, but it's
yeah,
play-ins or best of threes. Give me the rundown.
yeah. So plans. It's two groups. Basically split off into the four groups that were drawn out, and it's all
Yeah.
best of three, double elimination. So you lose twice, you're out. If you win twice, you're in. Um, so I think the four groups are T1, Astral, uh,
FlyQuest, PSG.
FlyQuest, PSG, yeah, okay. And then the other group is Top Esports, GAM, Fnatic, and Loud.
Loud, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, out of those two groups, two of those teams are going to make it, two of them are out. And then those 4 teams that qualify will move into the main stage where it's double elimination best of 5s.
So the difference between this one and like Worlds, for example, is they go straight basically into a quarterfinals.
Yeah.
The 4 teams that qualify from play-in, so 2 from the first bracket we said and 2 from the second bracket that we said, they all qualify, as well as the 4 first seeds from LCK, LPL, LCS, and LEC, and they basically just jump straight into like a quarterfinal type thing, and that's also double elim.
Yeah, so that's also double elim. So same thing, you lose twice, you're out. And the other thing is, out of those, I think you're kind of going to get drawn into groups in a way. Obviously, there's 2 sides of the bracket, so there's no civil war this year. So like you won't see 2 LCK teams on the same side of the bracket. Same with like LPL, LEC, LCS, assuming like it ends up being 4 from each or 2 from each region.
Yeah.
And then another thing that's new this year is the winner of MSI, they automatically qualify for Worlds. They just have to make summer playoffs in their own region. And then the second place team, we're a little confused on this too, but we're not sure if it's like the second place team, the thing is they're supposed to get another slot for their region, right? We just don't know if like LCK could end up having 6 teams or LPL could end up having 6 teams.
This is the thing that we were talking about right before we jumped on and started recording, is the way that it's phrased for the qualification at the end is that the team that wins MSI auto qualifies to Worlds, and they give their region another seed at Worlds. But what's confusing is that the way it's worded is that Riot says the second best performing region also gets a seed. I'm assuming what that means is that if the LPL wins MSI and the LCK is either in second or third, then the LCK will get another slot for their region. But it's worded, at least from what I've seen, it's worded ambiguously enough that it could mean if LPL makes finals from both sides of the bracket. So if they're 1 and 2 seed, both make finals, technically the LPL is both the first and the second best performing region, which would mean it could be that the LPL gets 2 bonus seeds, 1 from winning, 1 from being the quote unquote second best performing region. I don't think that's what Riot intends. I don't think that they want to give one region 2 more seeds. I would assume by second best performing region, they mean even if LPL gets first and second, whoever takes third, or whoever like the aggregate or whatever, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's whoever takes third, maybe it's the aggregate of the teams or whatever. That region also gets a seed to protect against one region getting 2 more seeds. But I don't know. From what I can tell, it's not clear.
It's weird, and as you're explaining that, I actually like thought of something like, what if it's 2 LPL teams, right, make it to the final, and then it's an LCK and an LEC team. So then what? Like,
what do you do about the third, fourth?
Yeah, like there's no third place match. There's no bronze game, right? So like, I don't know. I wonder if Riot like fully thought that out, but I don't know.
That's why I was wondering about like that's why I was wondering about like the aggregate of it. Like, if one region makes both third and fourth, then it's pretty clear. But if we get like 2 LCS, 2 LEC, 2 LPL, 2 LCK, it could be that we have a winning region that gets 1 and 2, and then we have 2 other regions that have 1 seed make it to semis and 1 lose out in quarters.
Yeah.
In which case it's the same, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I'm confusing myself.
I think we're all just a little confused on their wording there, and I think we'll just have to see how it plays out. If anyone has like actual answers for us, we'd love to get clarification, but
yeah,
we've been like discussing this for weeks. Like, is LCK going to end up having 6 seeds if it's Gen G T1 in the finals? Like,
I would hate that, by the way. I hope they don't do that, because if making it to playoffs for the LCK, this is like one really specific example, but if LCK takes first and second at MSI and they get 2 bonus spots at Worlds, I think that would mean they would have 6 seeds going to Worlds, which would mean if you make it to playoffs, you make it to Worlds, which I think would be garbage.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
maybe it's good.
It just like deletes the whole. Yeah, I mean, it gets rid of the whole regional gauntlet at that point.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing where it's the top 6 seeds. So
then you're just fighting for placement, and that's not that interesting. So
yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how this all plays out. But that's very specific. That's a very like niche example of something that could happen.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's just like bangers all around and it's like a pretty clear cut first, second. But
yeah,
I guess we'll see.
But with the bracket explanation out of the way a little bit, let's talk about our predictions. Who do you have FlyQuest versus PSG? Let's just start there.
I'm biased, right? I obviously NA native, LCS fan, I guess, kind of. So I'm going to be taking FlyQuest all day there. I just don't know enough about PSG, and I heard that they're pretty gross. So
I know. I have respect for PSG because I've seen what they've done at past international events and how they've taken games.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to put respect on PSG's name, but I also have brought this up in the past that I want to put respect on the name of the first and second seeds from the LCS and the LEC. And like, I think that especially the LCS 1 and 2 seeds get a lot of shit for international. Like, if you look at any kind of tier lists that have come out,
NA,
a lot of
nearest airport.
Yeah, they're at the bottom a lot. So
yeah,
I agree with you. I think FlyQuest clears PSG. Is it a 2-1 or a 2-0? I'd like to say it's a 2-0. I think FlyQuest has the ability to 2-0 it, but it could be a 2-1. But either way, I'm giving it to FlyQuest.
Yeah, same here. The one thing that to note, at least from the PSG side, is Junjia, their jungler, world champ. So, but he was a substitute, right? But
just don't mention that part.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a world's ring, so can never take that away. But yeah, I'm curious to see how that one plays out. There's been a lot of back and forth, at least on my socials, of people saying PSG is going to take it, FlyQuest is going to take it, almost leaning towards PSG. So
I hope
there's only one way to find out. Yeah, right.
I just hope that's not true. I hope that, because FlyQuest was looking like the best team in North America for a big part of the split. And if they go from looking like the best team, like being in the upper bracket, making it to finals, and then, which I think they had the potential to win North America. They just got they got beat by TL, who looked really good. No discredit to Team Liquid at all. But if we have our best looking team for a majority of the split, or top 2 or whatever, if they come out and they lose to PSG, I'm gonna be pretty upset.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with the guys that they've had, or that they have, Inspired, Whippo, they've all been on the internet. Jensen too, been on the international stage before. Just curious to see how Masu and Busio perform out on the international stage.
That's the real question, is how do Masu and Busio stack up? And I think they stack up well enough into PSG that it'll be okay. But I guess we'll see.
Yeah, only time will tell.
Yeah.
There's I think 2 that we can get out of the way pretty quickly. T1 versus Astral, and then Top Esports versus Loud.
You don't have Astral taking a game off T1 or winning? You don't have Astral beating T1?
If they do that, I actually will shave my head.
Yeah?
Okay, maybe not. But
okay, maybe not.
Yeah, false promises there, but I don't see a world, I could go through, use my time stone, and look through all the infinite universes.
Yeah.
I think T1 would have to like all their players would have to get sick, and they would just have 5 substitutes or something, which I don't even think is possible.
Yeah.
Same with top esports. Like, I don't think that there's any chance that either of those guys lose a single game.
Yeah, I think on a real note, if T1 or Top loses either of those matches, that will be one of the biggest upsets in like an international competition history. So I'm with you. I think we can get those out of the way pretty quickly. And what's more interesting is what comes after those matches, I think. Because honestly, I think Fnatic versus GAM is not going to be close either.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I don't know that much about GAM. What I do know is that the VCS had the huge cheating scandal recently, like the huge match fixing scandal. Every team had at least 2 players on it that were part of this match fixing scandal, which is insane. That's like it ended up being 30 something players in the league, I think.
Yeah, it was like, 70% of the league. Like some teams had like all 5 guys.
Yeah. So thankfully for GAM, they only had 2 players. I remember. I think it was just the 2. But they have subs now. So GAM is playing with 2 subs going into an international event, which is never a good look. And I have to give credit to Fnatic as well. So I think that side of the bracket is not going to be close, or that half of play-ins. Fnatic, I think, is going to take 2-0 over GAM, and I think Top is going to 2-0 Loud.
Yeah, I think at least for the first 4 matches, those are pretty solid predictions. Really quick, I don't know if there's any sports bettors out there, but I got, something that I might put some money on is, FlyQuest taking 1 game off of PSG, so FlyQuest plus 1.5, and then like you said, the Fnatic sweep, Fnatic minus 1.5, just because of the GAM news and what's happened in the PCS or VCS.
Yeah.
If you parlay those 2, you get pretty nice odds. I think that's like minus 120, minus 125. So if there's any sports bettors out there, that would probably be my pick just for the first 4 matches of MSI here. But please gamble responsibly. These are not like orders. They're just suggestions based on, what we've seen throughout the year. So anyways,
don't be a degenerate like Grayson.
Hey, whoa,
don't gamble like this. Gamble more responsibly than this guy does.
Yeah. That's just I'm just giving suggestions, right? All right. So
no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Do you want to give predictions for round 2 as well, or do we want to come back to that later? We're gonna take actually 2 weeks off after this because we're both gonna be busy for the next couple weeks. So unfortunately, we're gonna be missing a big part of MSI. So this is really going to be our big like MSI ramp up episode, and then we'll come back and do a recap once it's done. But I think we're missing the next 2 weeks, so we're going to miss a big chunk of MSI. So do you want to predict just like the rest of play-ins right now?
Sure. I mean, I think why don't we just predict the 4 teams that are going to make it to the main stage? Which I feel like we kind of already have. At least with our
maybe
tier
that's
list.
easy. Because for me, it's just FlyQuest, T1, Fnatic, and Top. And I think there's going to be some close matches. I think FlyQuest and PSG is going to be fun to watch because if it's close, it's going to be a nail biter of a series. I'm going to be at the edge of my seat the entire time. If it's a stomp, then maybe it's not that interesting. But I think there's a potential for it to be a really interesting series. And then I think GAM and Loud has the potential as well to be really an interesting series if they play against each other. I do think Loud probably takes it over GAM because of the state that GAM is in right now. But I also don't know enough about the minor regions to like for sure say. But I would say the most interesting games are probably going to be FlyQuest PSG and GAM versus Loud. But I mean, who knows? Maybe Fnatic and Top Esports play, and maybe that gets interesting. They have history in the past where they Fnatic has pulled an upset over top. So maybe we see that. I don't predict that to happen. I think top is gonna not do nice things to Fnatic.
Yeah.
but it's possible.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say we just why don't we predict who's going to be the top 4 at MSI? Because that gives us a bigger pool of teams to pick from, and I feel like the play-ins are more or less, you can kind of see how they're going to go just by looking at the teams.
So who are your top 4 at MSI?
Okay. So why don't we do this? Who do you think's going to win?
We kind of talked about this with our tier list that we did last episode, but we had BLG, Gen.G, and T1 at the top, if I remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I would say one of them is taking it.
Okay. Well, lock yours in right now because we're not going to be back on for a couple weeks. So
yeah. So I think it's going to come down to BLG T1. Unless one of them knocks each other out in the semifinals or something. But here's the thing, man. I can never predict Gen.G again. I can't do it. They always disappoint me. I can't in good faith tell you that Gen.G is going to win this tournament. I know people are saying that it's the Gen.G year. We had this conversation. I can't do it in good faith. I looked back at the past winners of MSI too, and it's almost always an LPL team. So I think it's either going to be T1, who are for some reason just the LPL slayers, or it's going to be BLG. It's one of the two. I don't. Well, then maybe I'll lock BLG.
Okay. Well,
I'll give you BLG.
All right. Well, I'm wearing the T1 jersey right now. Yeah. Big T1 guy. Copped this while I was in Korea, and I'm gonna go Gen.G.
Really? You're buying into the Gen.G hype?
I'm buying in. People are underrating Pays and Lehens. I know they didn't look too good, throughout the playoffs. But dude, come on, Gen.G's roster is so stacked. Chovy has to be so motivated right now. Canyon so motivated. New team. Keen, he got a taste of winning. Now it's just it's gonna snowball. And then Pays and Lehens. Come on, they're good players.
They are. It's a stacked roster. They're good players. Chovy is continuing to be on an insane form. Yeah. Canyon is potentially the best jungler in the world. Keen is a monster top laner who's finally getting his shot. Every year there's a story with Gen.G about how they're going to win or how they're going to make finals, and they never do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I don't think. I'm
okay.
You'll lock Gen.G. I'm locking.
I'll
BLG.
Lock in Gen. Yeah, there we go. We got the two 1 seeds locked down, and if we're wrong, then it's an upset.
Yeah. After all this conversation, we landed on 2 of the favorites.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Such hot takes, dude.
Yeah. Super hot takes coming in from the all chat team here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do you
throw
think
that on a
any?
list?
Yeah. Do you think any other region makes the semifinal besides LPL and LCK?
Makes the semifinal? Oh, because they have to make quarters, because that's basically what's happening. Yes.
Yeah. Who do you think does it? G2?
Do I think so? Man, that's so hard though, right?
Does TL do it?
Oh God. I don't know who does it, but I think we get one LEC or LCS team. Man, wait, but that's so hard, right? Because when it's happened before, it's a double Elim bracket now too, right?
One upset doesn't really get you too much further,
Yeah. Well, if you win your first best of 5, you go to upper bracket final or upper bracket semifinals, right?
Yeah. But it's still a grind,
Yeah. But so are you talking about
out of the top 4 teams, is one of them going to be someone from the West?
Oh man. Yes. I'm
Yes.
going to say yes. I think one team is going to make it happen, just because every year people predict that there's no Western team that's going to make any progress at an international event, and almost every year it happens. Like back in 2019, in 2019 when G2 won MSI, that was 3 Western teams in the top 4, right? It was TL, G2. They beat TL in the finals, but TL beat IG.
I think it was IG.
And G2, I don't know. Maybe. Oh no, maybe they played T.
I don't know the G2, history too well.
Yeah, I think G2 actually played T1, so maybe that wasn't actually. But whatever it is,
there's always some surprises.
Yeah, I'm butchering my history, but the point is that if there's one thing that I think I can expect at this point, it's that the bracket won't go as expected, and we won't see all 4 LPL and LCK seeds make top 4. So I will say one of the Western teams makes top 4.
Okay. You know, I think I'll back you on that. I'm pretty
really
I'm pretty high on TL. Yeah, I'm pretty high on TL. Like, I know some of the scrim stuff has come out, and G2's like, you know, classic scrim god G2, right?
Yeah.
But I think TL, you know, like, they got a pretty vet team. You know, they have vets in the right places. They have some young guns that are hungry. You know, Umpty's never been to an international, you know, tournament. They look pretty good at the end of LCS. It's just a matter of them performing. So, you know what? I'm going to say they're going to turn some heads and surprise some people.
Turning heads. I mean, they have APA, the god himself, and they have 2 literal world champions.
Yeah.
So you're the one who told me that TL was winning NA like 3-4 weeks ago, and you were right. So who am I to say you're wrong? Maybe it will be TL. I was expecting you to tell me that it's going to be all Eastern teams, but if you're going to back me on it, I'll take that too.
Yeah, dude, I'd love to. It's more like I'd love to see a Western team make it into the top 4.
Yeah.
I think that'd be just so good for the sport out here in general. You know, like knowing that, you know, at least a European team or a North American team can hold their own against the best of the best, right?
Yeah.
So
if that happens, if we get an LCS or an LEC team, probably an LCS. If we get an LCS team in top 4, we might have to do a little watch party type situation if we can make it happen.
100%.
I think that would be too fun.
Yeah. Oh, we got to. I mean, that's already turning some heads, making top 4. So, and we're all about turning heads out here at All Chat. You already know that.
All about turning heads. It's the most important part.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, those are like kind of our predictions, I'd say. I don't think it's just tough because if a Western team does make it, then Top Esports, T1, BLG, Genji, one of those isn't making it, right? So that's be some kind of like early civil war, not civil war, but like matchup between those two, probably to make it happen. But
we'll see.
You never know. You never know at an international.
Yeah. Okay. We talked about Chovy being an exceptional form. We talked about how Canyon might be the best jungler in the world.
Yeah.
Let's put our money where our mouth is and rank these players.
Dude, I'm down. I got all the tier lists put up right now, and you know, I think this is gonna be so fun. This is something that I've always wanted to do. So
can you share it with me? Share your screen.
Yeah, I got you. Alrighty.
So last week we did a full MSI tier list of all the teams, like I was mentioning before. This week, what we're going to do is go by position and do a tier list for each role. So this is going to be way more suspect than last week's.
Yeah.
Take this list with a grain of salt. And Grayson, I'm going to need your help big time on all the LPL and LCK top laners. I do have some strong opinions about the LCS and LEC players. I said top laners. I meant laners in general, just all the players. But this might be scuffed, but we're just gonna send it.
Yeah, I'm down. Okay, so I think in S tier, this
We're starting
guy.
at top.
Yeah,
We're going top bottom. Okay.
yeah. We'll go top bottom. This guy has to be here. I think he's the number one top laner at
369.
MSI. Yeah. I don't know if that's controversial. I don't think that should be controversial at all.
Yeah.
This guy has been disgusting all split. Probably the best player on top esports, in my opinion. The most consistent
Wow.
player on top esports.
Wow.
So I have a lot of high praise for 369.
So
I think
here's the elephant in the room, right? Is that my gut is telling me that all 4 LCK LPL top laners need to be at the top, and then the LCS and LEC players are going to be beneath them. Does that sound right to you, or do you think that there is a Western top laner that's like on par with some of the Eastern top laners?
Okay, so
like
this might
Eastern,
be
LPL,
like
LCK.
this might be kind of crazy, but
okay,
this is. I think I go like this.
369.
I think I go like
Bin.
And
you
then
think Zeus is worse than 369 Keen and Bin?
right now, yeah, like it's not as meta. Zeus he hasn't looked very good in playoffs. I don't know what the meta exactly is going to be for MSI, but Zeus just hasn't looked like his MVP finals MVP form, you know. And I think right now these guys are in a higher tier. Bin you might be able to throw here, but I think right now it's hard to knock him down a level. And this is like barely like if there's an A plus, Zeus would be right there, you know, and then BB would be A.
So
or if they're
I might challenge you on the BB pick. So right now,
really
S tier 369 Keen Bin, and then A tier Zeus and BB.
Yeah,
Broken Blade from G2.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, kind of like how we did our tier list last week. We didn't just say how good they are, but also how good we thought they would be at an international, and also how we thought that they would place at an international. We kind of tied all those things into one tier list.
Yeah.
And if we're going to do that again for the players, I think what we have to consider is how these players normally perform at international events, because there's some things that I think we know about some of these players at international events. For example, when we get to mid lane, Humanoid is known for stepping up.
That's true.
When you go to an international event with Humanoid, not every moment is a highlight moment, obviously, but he, for whatever reason, ends up with like the most highlight reel plays out of any LPL or sorry LEC or LCS player in general, pretty much.
That's true. Yeah.
When we get to the mid lane tier list, I think I'll probably want to put Humanoid a little higher than I normally would, just because I expect him to step up. And getting back on track with BB, I think largely what happens with BB at international events is that domestically he smurfs on people, and then when he gets to an international event, he tends to be less visible. Like he's not playing as like assertively as he does domestically. You know, he doesn't,
almost like less confidence in like
maybe it's less confidence, maybe it's he takes a step back in my experience. So I don't know that I would personally rate him in a tier above the other LCS and LEC top laners. I think he might be BBB.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna do this then. I'm gonna actually move Bin down.
Okay.
And like these two, like S and A, I feel like it's for me right now. It's more like how they've been performing recently. But obviously, like all 4 of these guys are gross, right?
Yeah.
So, it's like Bin and Zeus probably better international performers than 369 and Keen.
Yeah.
But I think right now, I'd rather have 369 and I'd rather have Keen on my teams. That's like kind of like the mindset. I again, I think it's pretty interchangeable, but just for the sake of like keeping it even and like Zays not being alone on A tier, because Zays is not like a bad player by any
No.
means, and he does step up big time at internationals, right?
Yeah.
So I think just right now he has not looked very good. So I
Okay.
gotta like have him below 369 and Keen, because Keen gapped his ass, bro. And 369 also just like I think he's the best top laner right now.
Okay. So I like that. I think when we're starting to get here's my problem with how this tier list system is going to go. I don't know enough about the minor regions to rank the individual players. You know, like
Yeah.
I felt like I had a rough idea from the past, from what I've seen at international events, to at least kind of be able to rank how I thought minor regions play in general. Like I'm throwing so many modifiers on this. I don't feel comfortable ranking any of the individual players from any of those teams. So I would just change the D tier to just like don't know. Yeah, question mark tier, don't know tier, and I would put all the minor region players in there. My guess is that Ozzy from PSG will be at the
Mm-hmm.
top, and I genuinely have, or generally, sorry, have good opinions of Kiaya and Robo, and I've
Yeah.
heard that Kiaya is playing really well right now. So I
Uh-huh.
would guess that somewhere in that tier it's going to be something like what you have, where it's like Ozzy and Kiaya, and then Robo, and then I don't even know how to pronounce his name,
This,
Sothby.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah. We'll go
I
with
would
that.
guess, I would guess it's something like that, but I don't know enough to be able to give any kind of take on that really.
Yeah. No, I'm in the same boat. So that might be what we end up doing for the rest
Yeah,
of the positions.
I think
But
we
I
have
think
to.
some of
I think
them
we
we
just
might
have
be
to.
able to. Yeah. Yeah. We can just rank who we know here.
Yeah,
Okay. Well then, who do you think is okay? So you don't think BB is you think BBB?
I do. BBB. Yeah.
Who else
So
is?
this is my take. Maybe you can call me crazy, but I think BB, Impact, and Bwipo are all same tier, and I think Oscarinin goes in C tier below them. I
Okay.
think BB can be at the top of B tier. I think probably it's Impact after that, and then Bwipo, like you have it. And then,
Uh-huh.
in my opinion, Oscarinin is clearly the worst of the LEC, LCS top laners. I think
Uh-huh.
his split has not looked that great. He's had good moments, he's had good games, but when you take their entire splits, I think Oscarinin is like clearly the worst out of those four. So
Okay.
I would say there's a chance that Impact or Bwipo plays better than BB does at this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I would have all of them in the same tier, and then I think Oscarinin is kind of like below them in his own tier.
Okay. I'm cool with that. I think I agree with that. The only thing is like I've heard well, at least Oscar and got a lot of praise last year at Worlds, but
Yeah,
again, he hasn't looked crazy this year at all. So
that's the tough thing about these tier lists too, right? Is like, for example, we have Zeus at underneath Bin in A tier, but he absolutely has the capacity to be the best top laner
number
at this whole
one.
tournament. He could be
Yeah.
one, and I think Oscar Innen has the same capacity as well. I think if he shows up in crazy form like he has in the past, he could be above the other LCS, LEC top laners. I just
Mm-hmm.
think with the knowledge that we have now, I wouldn't expect Oscar to be higher than any of the other top laners.
Yeah. I'm cool with that. I like how this looks.
I do too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy with
Okay.
that. I
All
think
right.
we run it to jungle.
Yeah, I'm down. All right. Let me see. I think I have to stop and then reshare.
Oh, all good.
Boom. Boom. Boom.
Little background music. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, we got the junglers.
Okay. Do you want to throw the minor region junglers and don't know tier, or do you have opinions on these that you're going to want to list them?
I think actually the junglers are all like Jungia, Levi. Like we might have to like throw some of these in like a C tier,
Okay,
but
let's
I don't
come
really
back to them.
know Croc or. Jose Dodo,
Oh,
right?
I don't know why his whole name isn't on there. It's Jose Diodo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he played in the LCS for a little bit. So
yeah, I heard.
yeah. But let's come back to them. You want to start
Okay.
top down again?
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay. Talk to me. Canyon clear S, right? Canyon 100% the best. So here's my question: is Canyon solo S, or is someone like Jun up there in S with him?
Jun's up there. Jun is disgusting. Okay. Yeah. I think I give more credit to Canyon though, because he, how do I say it? He enables his team really well, and he's also pretty clutch. I've seen moments where Jun is not very clutch at all, but he's also just disgusting.
Yeah.
So I think it's a pretty clear 1-2.
Okay.
I think Owner is the next up. And
from what I've heard, Tien is like the weakest of the 4 LPL LCK junglers. I've seen some things that say he's like high LCS LEC tier and like below the rest of them. But also that's tough because I have such a high opinion of all of these players. It's a little, I don't know. I have really high opinions of the LCS and LEC junglers, but I also have really high opinions of the LPL and LCK junglers. So what's your take on Tien? You know him better than I do. Is he like high? So do you have him in B under Owner?
I don't think he's an A tier jungler right now. Like,
wow.
Sure, he's a great player, but he's so coin flippy. I think his best days are behind him in a way, but he has such good synergy with Jackie. He's actually played really well with Cream as well, but like he hasn't done anything that impresses me. He's not like gonna make a standout play that wins you the game. He'll make the standout play that loses you the game.
Yeah.
But everything else he'll do, at an above average level. So when they're winning, he's really good, right? But when they're losing, don't count on him to like remember the play that Owner made last year where he like flashed the Ash arrow and came in with the Rel. Like Tien isn't doing anything like that. So that's like, I think I have him a little lower right now. Like I almost want to throw at least Inspired in there with him.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the question now. So we have Canyon and Jun in S tier, Owner solo A tier, and then Tien in B tier. I think then Inspired probably goes same tier. I think Inspired is the best LEC LCS top lane jungler that is going to the tournament. I think it's probably Inspired and then Razork, and then Yike, and then Umpty.
You think? And what do you think for? Does Razork go in B or does he go C?
No, I
don't think I would have Razork with Tien and Inspired personally.
I don't know. Razork's pretty good. Razork's pretty good.
Then so if you have Razork, then I feel like you also have to have Yike. So I feel like Yike's tough, pretty sick too.
Yeah, but like I feel like all 4 of the LCS LEC junglers are closer to each other than they are to Tien.
You think so? I think Tien and Inspired are close, actually.
Yeah, that might be
I just don't know as much about Razork and Yike. I'm also pretty high on Umpty, but I don't think he's Tien Inspired level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So one thing we could do is go.
Tough.
It's tough. Why is this randomly like the hardest one?
I feel like there's so many names, even Levi. Levi's sick too.
Yeah.
Levi, Junjia. I heard Junjia is smurfing on PCS, and he's
that's what I've heard too.
Why they're doing so well.
Here's the problem though. I haven't watched any of the minor regions at all, so I don't know what their like current form is. That's why I struggle to rank them. Is I can talk to you about like historically how good they've been, but if we're trying to talk about where they're at right now, I have no clue.
Yeah. I almost want to do like this.
And then put Umpty in C.
Umpty solo C. Is there anyone? Do any of these guys compare to Umpty? Or do you think Umpty's like a tier below? That's so hard.
It's so hard. I feel
like we could, based on what people have said, we could almost like do this. So then he's not just alone there.
Put Junjia and Levi in C with Umpty. So right now, how it's looking is Canyon Jun S, Owner in A, Tien Inspired Razork Yike in B, C is Umpty, Junjia, Levi, and then Don't Know Enough is Jose Dioto and Croc.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't feel like I know enough about Junjia and Levi right now to rank them at all. I'm trying to figure out this like Tien inspired Razork Yike Umpty situation.
Yeah.
And my gut is telling me that it's Tien. Oh man. Here's the thing, is like you're telling me that you feel like Tien is pretty comparable with Inspired.
I think Tien's closer to Inspired than he is to Owner.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as like an X Factor, like Inspired does way more for his team than Tien does. Obviously, they're not like they're obviously there's differences in their like skill level, right?
Yeah.
But as far as what they bring to the team, I feel like it's a lot more similar than what Owner brings to T1.
Okay. So then if I were to make this by myself, I think we should average it out between what you think and what I think. But if I was making it, I would get kind of nitty gritty with it. I would put Junjia, Levi, Jose Dioto, and Croc. I would put them all in the Don't Know Enough because I don't want to judge them. But then I would put Tien Inspired Razork in B, and I would put Yike and Umpty in C. I think.
Okay. In that order, Yike, Umpty.
Right. Yeah, Yike, Umpty.
Okay.
I don't know if that's right, because I think Yike is really good, but when I think about their split and like how G2 performs as a team, it's so caps focused.
Yeah.
That like I think Razork is a bigger difference maker on Fnatic than Yike is on G2, and that's part of the reason I want to put him in C, because I have similar with like feelings Inspired. About Oh, that is kind of similar with Inspired, right? But like,
so like,
but I
like Inspired Razork and then Yike Umpty. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, yes, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Inspired and Razork to me have bigger impacts on their teams than Yike and Umpty have on their respective teams. That's why I would rank them separately.
Okay, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with how this looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a lot of shit for this.
That's fine. That's fine. It's our tier list, bro. Who cares?
Our tier list. Hey, if you don't like it, get in the comments.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, shout out Brennan Lee Morgan. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's just go quickly to mid lane. Move on fast. Go quick.
Yeah. Wait, did we even do junglers? No, we didn't do junglers yet.
No. Yeah. Before people have time to respond, just move on quick.
All right.
Okay. Let's go full top down again. Give me.
Yeah. Okay.
Give me Chovy.
This guy.
Chovy S.
This guy.
Yeah.
This guy though has to be like at the very
top
front.
of S. Thank you. APA solo S tier. Actually, no, that's mean. So Chovy and Knight, do they belong in S tier together, or is Chovy solo S?
That's so hard. Do we give it?
So
do we just give it to Chovy?
Because Chovy is being talked about as the best individual player in the world, right? So is Knight like, if he's going to be an S with Chovy, I would think that would mean he has to be close to the
talked
best
about.
player in the world, right?
Which, you know,
Which he
like
might
you
be.
could
He actually
make that argument for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's won like 4 splits in a row now or something, like something silly. Like he's done the same thing as Chovy, but in the LPL. Or like similar.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? Like his JDG, JDG, BLG.
Yeah. Let's leave Chovy and Knight in S together, and we'll come back to it.
I feel like if we could have like a space, you know, like I think Chovy's like S plus and Knight is like S, you know?
Yeah.
But whatever. We can't really
almost
add those
need like
distinctions.
Chovy tier.
Yeah. God tier,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
All right, let's leave that for now.
Sure.
Dude, Cream's looked pretty disgusting.
Cream Faker caps
are
kind of my next thoughts, right?
Yeah, agreed. I'm thinking something kind of like this, maybe like this. But you tell me.
Yeah,
it could
I
be
would
like
say caps belongs in A tier with Faker and Cream. I think all three joint A. Yeah. It? I think caps is probably third in A tier. It's the question of is Cream Faker caps or is it Faker Cream caps?
Dude, I think it's Cream Faker caps.
I think that's right. I think you're right. Yeah.
Dude, Cream has been disgusting. And Faker made some like silly mistakes, bro, in the final. Like, did you see when he took the Rift Herald right into Canyon's Poppy? Like,
just insta-died. Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure that was in game 5 too. Like that's such a bad mistake for
such a bad mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, obviously this guy's the GOAT, you know. I don't even know if you could see that.
I was like, where's he going? Oh, he's just flexing the jersey. Okay. Yeah. That's fine.
You can't even see it, and I can't even turn because my body's mangled. Anyways. I think that's right. I think that's
okay.
I think that's pretty good. And then I think this is the next guy up.
I think that's right.
And I think
just because it's humanoid at an international, I think it has to be humanoid next. Maybe even without the humanoid international buff, he might still be next. But definitely, I would say humanoid top of B, and then it's APA and Jensen. But what order?
I think APA is better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he definitely showed up in finals better than Jensen did.
Yeah.
But
I think
if you think about Jensen in the series against C9, that was like
domination.
Giga Jensen experience.
Yeah. No, I'm big. What if we just did that? Actually, no.
No, it's not that bad.
It's not that
bad. It's not that bad.
I think APA is ahead.
Okay. I mean, dude, they're all heads. Every single one of these pictures is a head.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm sorry. Move on. It's a bad joke. Just move on. Just go next.
I heard Maple's disgusting too, though. I think Maple, like, we got to throw. Actually, I see. Like, do we just have no C tier?
I think so. I wouldn't. I would just throw the rest of them in don't know tier again.
/ Heard. Oh, whatever.
Just leave it. Just leave it at don't know.
we'll just go. I think, we'll just do that. Boom.
It's probably in don't know tier. It's probably Maple, Tenone's, Cody, Emo, or I assume it's Emo. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it.
I think Emo is like one of the subs, so for sure.
Yeah, I would expect him to be at the bottom. But I hardly know anything about like either of those players, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think mid lane is condensed like we have it. I think it's, if anything, it's like Chovy solo S and we move everyone else down a tier. But I'm fine with leaving it Chovy Knight in S. So it'd be Chovy Knight S, Cream Faker Caps A, Humanoid APA Jensen in B. I'm happy with that.
I'm cool with that too, honestly. I think there could be arguments made that Knight moves down. Like you said, like everyone just moves down and Chovy's just like by himself. But Knight's pretty disgusting. So
yeah.
All right. ADCs.
ADC.
Let's see.
Moving right along.
Moving right along, yes, sir. All right, all right. Well, just to start us off, that guy's there for sure.
Yeah, Elk S. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That's correct.
Yeah, I think. Honestly, I think it goes like this.
You think it's Elk Solo S and then Guma pays Jackie?
Yeah.
So I've heard. I watched the LPL finals and I watched the LCK finals and all that, but I haven't watched like their whole splits or anything. But from what I've heard, Elk is just absolutely bonkers, insane, like Giga ADC mode right now.
Yeah.
So I can understand putting Elk Solo S. What I don't know that much about is the A tier with Guma pays Jackie, because from what I've heard, pays people are saying is underperforming. So I would have expected like an Elk Guma Jackie and then pays situation, but I don't know.
I think you just have to have pays there. Like one of the biggest things in league is age, and pays is just like he's like actually like a prodigy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this guy's 3 for 3 in the LCK. Like I get it, he's on a stacked roster, but a lot of those wins were also because of him. And
yeah,
mechanically,
I
this
don't buy
guy's
the
gross.
age thing. I don't buy the age thing.
You don't
By the
buy the
way,
age thing, okay?
I don't.
Okay,
I mean, Faker's still winning worlds.
that's
I don't
true.
know.
That's true.
I think the age thing is super overblown, and I don't know. I wouldn't attribute his success to how young he is. I think that argument is overblown.
I think he's just like, you know, he's a prodigy. He's like next up. You know what I mean?
That I buy. That I believe. I don't. Do you think, but on like a performance level heading into MSI, do you think he is going to perform better than Jackie Love?
I think he will, just because of the team that's around him.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to take the team into account, then I'm willing to put that. Yeah.
I'm just really big on pays. I don't know why. Like he's one of my favorite players out there. Something about him, he's like so cool, calm, and collected. Same with Guma. I think Guma.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really big on Guma as well. I think Jackie, incredible player, right? But Mako is a big part of that as well.
Right.
So I think from a pure individual standpoint, pays is better right now.
Okay.
Yeah. They both like these two both have like their moments, but I'm just bigger on pays. But it could realistically be like that, you know.
Okay. But let's leave it. Let's put you know, Elk Solo S and then an A Guma pays Jackie. Then we get into
this guy, dude.
Wow. You want Hans? I don't know. I don't know if I'm that high on Hans Sama.
Really? Okay.
I think it's a BB situation where I don't know. I give so much of G2's success as credit to Caps. I just think it's like so much the Caps show. All the other players like play their parts, but I don't know. I don't think that I understand like the tendency to rate G2 players highly, but I don't know if I right now rate the rest of G2 higher than the other LCS LEC players.
Okay. So you don't even think Hansam is first out of the West?
Oh, I think he might be first out of the West, but I don't think I'd put him in a separate tier, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. I think what you have is pretty close, and then I'd put Masu in C.
Yeah.
So right now what we have is Han Sama and then Yon and then Noah in B with Masu in C and then all the other ADCs. I don't even know like half those ADCs, so I'm not even going to touch that.
Yeah.
All the other ADCs and don't know enough tier.
You think Yon is...
You go.
Oh, what do you how do you feel about Yon over Noah?
That's what I was thinking too. I think that's okay. Noah has stepped up, but he wasn't the like if you were looking at how well individual Fnatic players have been playing over the course of this year, I wouldn't put Noah at the top. I think Jun probably Jun, is playing insane. I think he is one of the best players on Fnatic right now.
Okay.
I think Razork is playing really well, and I think Humanoid is playing really well. And then I would have Oscar and Noah probably
like the bottom two.
Like the bottom two. So I would, but I think Noah is probably. I think Noah is still better than Masu.
Okay. I think experience
Masu
does matter too.
Exactly. Masu. I mean, Noah and Masu are both pretty new, but Masu is like straight up a rookie.
Yeah. I'm cool with this.
I like that.
I think the only controversial are this 4 little cluster right here.
Yeah.
So bet
if we were crazy, we could put Yon over Hansama, but that might be too crazy. That might be a
little too crazy. We're ambitious, but not that ambitious right now.
Yeah, we're just vicious, I think.
Yeah. All right, moving on to supports then.
Wow, we're just running through these now.
I know, we're flying through these. We're rolling.
It's clear. Right. We can see the path.
I know.
We know what it is.
I know. Okay.
So here's what I'm expecting. I think Mako needs to go S tier, right?
Oh, 100%. I think Mako's Mako, Carrier, and On are all like...
And then Lehen's underneath?
Yeah. Lehen's and maybe Jun and Mickey.
So here's the thing. It's so hard for me to compare like LEC and LCS players to LPL and LCK players. I know that's what we're doing, but it's so hard, right?
Yeah.
I think Jun is, especially like his playoffs were insane. He was playing so well. The game that Fnatic took over G2, Jun was like carrying that entire game. So I think he's insane. I don't know how good Lehen's is really. I don't know.
Lehen's hasn't been like crazy.
Okay.
He's also like I watched their little documentary and he gets really nervous before big games.
Oh, interesting.
Is what he was saying, which is like what happens when they're all big games at an international type deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so if we want to kind of condense it how we have been, I think it's probably okay to put Jun in Lehen's tier. Maybe not. Maybe it's Lehen's solo A, and then I think Core JJ is better than Busio right now. So I would switch that. Right? So right now how it's looking is Mako, Carrier, and then On in S, Lehen's and Jun in A, and then Mickey X, Core JJ, Busio in B. I don't know how Lehen's is going to compare to the other supports. If we think he's better than all the LCS LEC supports, then I would say it's Lehen's solo A, and then Jun, Mickey X, and Core, and then Busio, I think.
Really? Okay. Like this.
I think. Is that crazy? Is that wrong?
I know a lot of people have been very high on Jun. Or June.
June. Yeah. Jun. I think it's Jun. Yeah.
June. I think.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Sorry.
Busio wasn't Busio first team All Pro?
I think he might have been.
Nice.
Like the Yon Core JJ bot lane looked so good during playoffs, though.
Yeah, right.
You know,
but Mickey and Hans has also looked pretty gross.
Yeah. I don't know that I rate the LEC bot lanes that much higher than I rate the LCS bot lanes. I think they're pretty comparable.
That's so hard.
I think on an individual skill level, a lot of the LCS players are pretty similar to a lot of the LEC players. I think the bot lane together of Busio and Masu is probably the worst out of the LCS and LEC. But like on an individual skill level,
like Busio's pretty skilled dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Busio I think is definitely like I don't know in the Noah.
I feel like
in the Noah Jun bot lane, I would say Jun is doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and in the Busio Masu bot lane, I'd say Busio is doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Whereas with Core and Mickey, I feel like it's almost the opposite.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess that's kind of true.
Yeah.
Because I think Mickey has not been having his best split either. He's been fine, but man, that's actually really hard.
Okay, I guess let's get this out of the way. Does June stay on the same level as Lehens?
I think that's gonna be up to you. I think you're gonna know better than I will.
I feel like, I mean, I know Jun came from LCK last year.
Yeah.
Right? But
that doesn't really like play into his skill level now.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're saying that he's like smurfing, I feel like Lehens is more just like, you know, does everything that he needs to on Gen G, whereas June is stepping up and helping Fnatic win games. So I feel like that almost like
maybe that's fine. Maybe how you have it is fine.
Yeah.
Maybe it's so Mako Keria on an S makes a lot of sense to me. Lehens underneath them in A makes sense to me. It's tough to know where Jun is supposed to go. If he's supposed to go Lehens tier, or if he's supposed to go underneath. And then it's Mickey, Core, Busio, and B. Is Busio better than Core? Individually, is Busio a higher performer than Core right now?
I feel like
I'm gonna say no. I want to leave it. I think Core is better than Busio right now. I think Busio had a really good regular split. And I think, I mean, like all of FlyQuest had a really good regular split, and then TL really showed up in playoffs, and the TL bot lane of Yon and Core JJ really came together. So if we're basing it off of how I'm expecting them to play going into MSI, I'm expecting both Core JJ and Yon to play better than Busio and Masu. So I think I want Busio at the bottom and Core JJ above him.
Okay. You know what? And one other thing, I think I'm gonna do this. Oh my gosh, if I can.
Oh, you want Keria over Mako?
I think Keria is the best support in the world, but I think Mako is not far off.
Okay.
I think I do just give the edge to Keria.
I'm gonna have to default to you on that one, but I believe it. Yeah.
I think Keria hasn't had like a crazy split, but like what he brings to the table and like what we know he can do.
Yeah.
Is especially right now, like we don't know exactly what the meta is going to be at MSI, and I feel like Keria is going to pull out some crazy shit that's going to like make him the best support at MSI.
Okay.
And then, you know, these guys can
you can put them in any order. I know the least about them. If there was anything else that we would do to this list, I think there's a potential that Core goes over Mickey. But I feel pretty highly about Core given their playoffs run, and I think on G2 Mickey has been the most underwhelming to me.
Okay. I mean, and that's where I default to you, so
I think you've watched more of the LCS and the LEC than I have of the LPL and the LCK probably, but I don't know. If we're talking about that's so hard, because if we're talking about how we're expecting them to do, I really do think G2 is going to do well.
Yeah. But if we're ranking them as pure individual players now.
Why not have some spice? Why not throw some spice on it, right? Why not put Core JJ over Mickey? It's it's our tier list.
Exactly.
It's completely subjective.
Come on, exactly.
Yeah.
We're good. If that's how you want it, dude, I'm all for it. I mean, I made the executive call on Keria, you make the executive call on Core. I'm cool with it.
Baby, I want it that way. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm never doing that.
All
again.
right.
Okay.
Turn off your camera, dude. Holy cow.
All right. We're just gonna call it there. Move on quick.
All righty. Well, yeah, dude, that was fun. I love making tier lists.
Oh, me too.
That's like
that was great.
Yeah. Hopefully those weren't too controversial, but at the end of the day, those are our thoughts,
You know
Who
what?
cares?
Hopefully they were. Hopefully they're
Yeah.
super controversial and people want to talk about them. Because otherwise,
Exactly.
what value are we providing? If we're not
Yeah.
getting called out for being the dumbest people on the planet by normal league fans, then what have we really done today,
Exactly. Without even trying to rage bait. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, these are just our thoughts. All
It's
right.
just how
So
we're
if you don't
feeling.
like them, come at us. I don't care. We'll back them up. We have the receipts.
Do we?
Or maybe not the receipts, but we have our explanations.
Yeah.
Justifications.
We have an hour of us talking and absolutely zero experience between the two of us. So
yeah.
no credibility and zero experience, but an hour of us talking about it.
Exactly. And countless hours of watching. So
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows if you're a big fan of something and you watch it a lot, that gives you it qualifies you to be able to speak on it objectively.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm wearing a T1 jersey. I basically play for the team.
There you go. Yeah. Bro thinks he's on the team.
T1 Grayson right here.
Oh God, never say that again. Thanks. Thank you. Man, I gotta say, real quick, stop. He's doing the fucking Mew thing. Just stop. Okay. I found a new thing on Twitter that I absolutely can't stand, and it's super fans of teams who tweet as though they're on the team. And it's like a super niche thing, and if you're the kind of person that does that, it's like more like you do you, but there's a few accounts on Twitter where they're like individual super fans of teams that tweet things saying like, we just did this, or our team, and it's like, man, you are not on the team. I get that you're a huge fan, but it's just, for some reason, that really gets me. That really bothers me. I don't know.
Oh, welcome to like the world of like pro sports. The amount of people that think they're on the team, bro, is crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I'm even guilty of it sometimes. Like, you'll be like, oh yeah, dude, we just picked up this sick guy, dude. Like, oh my God, we should go get that guy in free agency, right? But it's like, shit, I have no say in the decision, bro. Like, I'm not on the team, bro. I'm not the GM.
But maybe that's even a controversial take for me to have. That's an annoying thing. But for whatever reason,
it's not. It's not at all.
It's not.
That's like a consensus thing where like throughout sports, where like people who are like that, it's like shut up.
Just shut up. It's just like, you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. You're not on the team. You have no more insight into it than any of the rest of us do. You're just vocal about it. Like, don't pretend that you have any part in what's going on. I don't know.
These guys don't even know you exist, bro.
Yeah, they don't even know who you are. And it's like, I don't know why. Like, it's fine to be a fan of something. I don't know. For whatever reason, that specifically just pisses me off.
yeah. Be a fan, but like, you're not on the team, bro.
Yeah. Whatever.
Anyways,
if I'm crazy, call me crazy. It's fine. Whatever.
You're good. You're not crazy.
Okay.
That's a pretty common thing I've seen just throughout my lifetime of being a sports fan. So
wow. All 22, 3, 2. All 22 years. Am I doxing you right now? Maybe we cut that out.
This guy lives on.
This guy lives at this address. He's this old. He works this job.
His birthday is this. Social
plays for this field hockey team. Yeah. Okay.
Anyways.
Moving on fast.
Yeah. I think I don't got anything else. There hasn't been too much news, really.
No.
I'm just, again, excited for the start of MSI. We got it in 2 days. By the time this episode comes out, that FlyQuest PSG series will be over.
Yeah.
And we'll know the results. But bangers only from here on out, hopefully.
Yeah. This is a really random shout out to add at the end, but I just saw before this that Yamato Cannon posted a video where he did a tier list of MSI tier lists. So he took a bunch of people's tier lists and then tier listed them. And I think that's hella funny. And I wish I had come up with that idea. So I'm going to go watch that after this. I can't really recommend that anyone else do because I don't really know how it is. But I love Yamato. Actually, I can recommend it. And I'm going to. I think you guys should check out that video because Yamato Cannon he's the GOAT. And the video, I'm sure, is hilarious. So I'm going to go watch that after this. But let us know if you want us to tier list our own tier lists or something. Maybe we'll get really meta about it and put a video up about that. But I thought that was funny. So
yeah, no, I saw. Did you see the one where the guy just ranked it by color? Like he had nothing in the tier list, but it was just like all the colors. He's like, I think G2 goes here, and it was like at the very top, but it was just all by color. I was dying at that one.
That one was good. The other one that was good was ranking them alphabetically. So it was like it was just like it was still like S through D or whatever, but it was just all the teams in alphabetical order. And I thought that was pretty good too.
Yeah. People are getting creative with it, which I love.
Yeah. Fun stuff. And then Grayson just goes and comments our tier lists on all of those. Tries to farm impressions.
Hey, I'm just trying to get some opinions, like is ours right? Is ours good? You just let us know. Yankos, I'm still waiting for your response, by the way.
Come on.
Yeah, dude.
Yamato Cannon, put us in your next tier list video.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I think we're good there, eh? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you again for watching. This has been All Chat episode 16?
16.
Is that right?
Crazy.
All Chat episode 16. Thank you guys for tuning in. To everyone who came from last week's video that blew up, thank you for sticking around. You guys have no idea. It means the world to us to have so many people watch, share, comment, interact with us. It was amazing. It was the coolest week ever to see that happen. So thank you to everyone who watched. Thank you to everyone who even just watched part of it. Thank you to the people who stuck through the whole thing. If you enjoyed the content, feel free to keep coming back. We do this every week, except for the next 2 weeks when we actually have to take a break. But other than that, it's going to be every week. We've been going for 16 episodes straight. It's been a ton of fun. You can find us on all of our social media. It's at AllChatLOL on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify. The only one that's different is our Twitter, which is at AllChat_LOL. But yeah, check out all of our social media. We're pretty active on all of them. So come say hi, DM us, whatever. We're just here trying to talk about the game we love. So
yeah,
thank you so much.
We're just fans of the game, So as always, All Chat's by the fans for the fans. And we won't see you next week, but we'll see you in a couple weeks after MSI is over.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Peace.